I'll come to you first, Swati, because you've publicly called for the swiftest and the surest maximum punishment for Aftab. Do you want to be more specific? Because in previous cases like the Tandoor murder case, if you can recall, Sushil Sharma in 1995 got life imprisonment and is now out after having served 22 years in jail. Are you saying that you want the maximum punishment, i.e. death penalty for Aftab?
Absolutely, Rajdeep sir, because you see the condition, the manner in which this crime was executed, it is one of the most brutal and most gruesome crimes ever. I have been in the position of the Delhi Commission for Women chairperson for the past 7 years. I can say on record that this is one of the most scary cases that I have come across. We have issued a notice to the Delhi police because I want to understand under what circumstances does a girl disappear into thin air in the state of Delhi 6 months back, and yet no action was taken. There was no report that was made, and the fact that Aftab was able to kill her brutally, cut her off into 36 pieces, store these pieces in the fridge, and then every day at a particular time go out and dispose these pieces across different parts of Delhi. I really don't understand what kind of a policing we have and what kind of a society we have. So we've issued a notice to the Delhi police because I want the best investigation to happen in this case so that the maximum punishment is given to Aftab. Apart from that, I also want to understand from Delhi police, did Shraddha file any complaint with them? Was a PCR call made? Was any kind of a complaint for domestic violence or sexual abuse against Aftab reported in the past? I think all that information is also very crucial because one needs to understand what is it that the Delhi police did in order to prevent a crime like this. At the end of the day, I am extremely shocked. It's the most gruesome murder. It is very disturbing, and I want that the maximum punishment should be given to this man because it is clearly an act of a well thought and planned murder. It is not something that he did in, some anger. It is clearly something that he planned, that he thought through, and he executed it in the most horrible manner possible. And if you look at it, I have also been hearing from the media all these reports coming in where it is being said that in the fridge that he stored Shraddha's head and other body parts, he also stored his own food there. He brought women from dating sites into his own house when her Shraddha's body parts were still there in the fridge. So what kind of a person does that? Clearly the strongest investigation needs to happen, and we have seen.
No, before I go to my other guests who will look at the investigation aspects, all I'm asking you is, while it's very easy to today say what was the Delhi police doing, this is a psychotic killer clearly. Someone, who was unhinged in many ways, but also ruthless and cold-blooded in the way he killed. The fact is, crimes against women, Delhi, Swati Maliwal is still seen as a city unsafe for women. So, we can blame the Delhi police and question them, but there will be questions. I mean, Aftab's case cannot be used to target in a way policing. There's a larger issue of people like Aftab, and there may be others out there who perhaps are individuals who are out there to be cold-blooded killers.
No, I totally agree. I'm not just targeting the police. I'm of course asking this very relevant question as to what really happened. How did this girl just disappear into thin air and there was absolutely no trace? I'm also asking a question about the kind of society that we live in. Just because this girl was in a live-in relationship, she got estranged from her own family and friends, and then after that there was absolutely no support system for her. So even the place that she was living in, her neighbors, nobody actually realized that this girl has gone missing. So it raises a very large issue about how the crimes against women in the capital are really increasing, and there is absolute lack of support systems. At least in the cases where a couple fear honor killing, there are certain judgments by the Supreme Court, there are judgments by honorable high courts, and steps are taken in order to give them protection. But what happens when a girl like this enters a live-in relationship with her own choice and gets estranged from her family, and then there is no support system? So in fact, we've been discussing that what all policy changes they need to be done, because girls like that, should at least have some support system where they can walk in and they can explain that the relationship is getting toxic and probably get some counseling and get some help. So I feel that at the end of the day, Aftab needs to be given the strongest punishment, but this is also an issue where we need to have the Delhi police functioning at its level best, because we don't want the repeat of a Chhavla gang rape and murder case where after 10 years the men were let off because there was a shoddy investigation.